Alright, so hey guys, it's Meg. So today I'm going to be talking about what's going on and what's been going on in my life and why I haven't been very consistent uploading. So here it is. So this all starts back in November of last year, 2018. So my grandma, my dad's mom, got diagnosed with lung and brain cancer. I don't know how bad it is, what stage, I don't know any of that. And she's been in a lot of pain, so I just have kind of been here. I've been upset about it. Where is it? Okay, well, there it is. But I've been journaling a lot recently. So there's that. And then about Valentine's Day, we lose my great grandma to old age. And what really hurt about that was we missed her 100th birthday, which was her last birthday, with us. So I'm still sad about it, but yeah. And then probably March, going back to February when we lost my great grandma, I was in human anatomy and physiology first period on February the 15th, and I was on Snapchat for some reason, and I looked on my oldest brother's story, and he was like, "Love you, Grandma blank." Don't want to say your last name. And I was like, "Is it Grandma blank?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I couldn't cry because I was at school and stuff, so there's that. And then March comes around and we had a ton of drama with my brother's girlfriend. Short story, he wanted to sleep at her house. My parents weren't comfortable. She decided that she'd come pick him up, because he was like, "I'm not telling, I'm asking, I'm going to spend the night at blank blank's house." And my parents were like, "No, you're not using our cars to do that." So she came to pick him up, got kicked out of the house, called 911, because my brother was having a panic attack at the end of the driveway. But all that happened, and then she proceeded to tell me that if my mom showed up to their wedding, that she'd be thrown out, and that my mom wouldn't be in the same room as their kids. So I texted my brother, like, "Hey, you need to tell blank blank what's appropriate to tell me." And they broke up. So, yay. And then April was okay, I guess. Took my first two ACTs. And on, I want to say April something, I can't remember the exact date, but it was April the 12th when I had found out. But I want to say it was April 10th when this happened. Let me go look. Okay, so I believe it was April 10th that all this went down, or the 11th. But I found out on the 12th that, but when we lived in North Carolina, we were very close with this one family, and I'm not going to announce their last name because you can just look it up and see what happened. But their son Like, we were super close with them, and their biological son decided to kill his mom and his dad, so I took that hard too. So there's that. And then you can't remember the month that I found this out, but my aunt has colon cancer. So yeah. And then this is most recent, but probably 3 to 4 weeks ago, we had to put down the dog that I don't remember getting. And she had an infection in her uterus, ? She had multiple things wrong. Apparently she had cancer. And she wasn't eating, but I was in South Carolina at the time visiting family. And my mom texts me and my little brother and was like, we're taking Lucy to the vet. We're gonna see what's wrong with her and see what's best to do. And about 10, no, not 10, like an hour and a half later, we get a text saying that they're putting her down. And that was the hardest thing to read, ever. So, and then my mom texted my little brother, do you want to FaceTime and say goodbye? And he was like, yeah. And then I said goodbye, but I didn't want to go up to the camera. And then she stopped breathing, and my mom was like, okay, it's finished. But she was crying, so she just hung up. And I was fine for about 5 minutes, and I just sat there playing the computer at my grandma's house, and then I logged out of the website I was on because I was playing Roblox with my nephew, and I just go upstairs in my grandma's house and just cry. I just cried and cried because I don't remember getting her, and I'll be right back. And this really hurt. It hurt to hear what was all wrong with her, because if I had a rough day at school, she could automatically tell, and she would just run up to me. When I was sick, she would lay with me when something, she could always tell when something was wrong, and she would snuggle up next to me, but I couldn't sense when something was wrong with her. So I just feel like it's my fault that she's not here. So that's about everything that's been happening. 2019 has, the best word, sucked, been the worst year ever. So much has happened to me that's bad. And I also found out I can't compete my senior year because my dance teacher screwed me over. Twice. So I'll just talk about that too. So this all started in June of last year, and my dance teacher emailed my mom It's like, hey, we don't have enough older kids, like 7th grade and up, I want to say, for your daughter to compete. And she had to send like 4 of these emails out. Which, you know, she still could have made like a small group and like 2 duets and solos, but I guess she didn't want to do that. But I'll get into that later. So she basically screws me over, being like, there's not enough girls your age to compete. And then I messaged her on GroupMe, because we had a GroupMe for the previous season. I was like, hey, is there anything you can do for those of us who wanted to compete? She's like, no, sorry. And then I look on their Instagram and I see, but I was really disappointed about that, because I was wanting to compete. So I took a year off, because I went a year without competing, and it was miserable for me, because during like rec classes, just for like recital, all I would think about is competing, like competitions and stuff like that. So I was like, no ma'am. So, and then I go back to get the papers to audition for my senior year for company. She's like, well, you have to be enrolled the 2018-19 season at the studio to be eligible for company, the competition team. And I was like, thank you for screwing me over twice. Okay, I didn't really say that, but I was about to. Like, it was bad. And then I was like, well, apparently there's this new rule, Mom. So my mom emailed her, and keep in mind that she made 2 exceptions last season. So yeah. And then she just like wouldn't make an exception for me. So I was like, wow, playing favorites, hello. And that's it. That's what's been going on. So thanks for watching.